Welcome to Tammy Tingle's Travel Agency. What can I help you with today? Oh, how exciting! You want to take a road trip of the Southwest and see canyons. Wow, what a great idea. Do you know, will you be driving from here? Oh, you're going to be flying into Albuquerque, okay. Albuquerque's a great place to fly into, actually. So will you be renting a car? Okay. Well, we can go ahead and make a triptych for you. Let's see. So I assume that you want to see the Grand Canyon. Okay. I don't know if you're aware that there are actually some other really neat places that you can visit, and unlike the Grand Canyon, they don't charge money. Now they're kind of off the beaten path, but I would say it's well worth your while to investigate. So the first place that I would recommend is Canyon de Chelly, which is actually in Arizona as well, but it's a lot further east than the Grand Canyon. So I wouldn't say you would hit it first, but you could hit it first. Like I said, it's a little bit out of the way. Does that sound interesting? Oh, well, it's smaller than the Grand Canyon, but it's also it's got very vivid color, and it's a lot more laid back. There aren't a lot of people. You won't have to fight crowds to look in the overlooks, and you don't have to pay, admissions to get your car in. You can just drive up to the overlooks and look out. And the people there are very friendly. It's actually on the Navajo reservation. So you're sort of a guest, but pretty much everybody loves to just talk to people and tell stories. You want to do that? Okay. So let's see. From Albuquerque, you would actually be taking I-40. So let's get you a route here. So when you go to the airport's actually on I-25, which runs north-south, and there's only two major highways in Albuquerque. It's not a big city. So I-25 goes north-south, and then it intersects I-40, which goes east-west. And you're going to want to go take I-25 north until it does hit I-40, and then you'll take I-40 for a long time. It'll take you almost into Arizona. You'll actually want to get off in Gallup, New Mexico, which is almost Arizona, because once you get to that area, you're going to want to veer north. So you'll be going west for a while, and then you'll kind of veer north. So let's see if we can get that into the computer. So you're going from the airport. You're going to be going to, the town is called Chinle, Arizona. Okay. So that trip is about 4 hours. And then there are several hotels in Chinle that you could stay in, or you could stay in Gallup, which is about an hour and a half. You want to stay in Chinle, okay. We don't do hotel booking, but what you'll want to do is go onto the internet and just Google, Chinle, Arizona hotels, and you should be able to book one. We're just the map people. So from Chinle, you have a couple of options on how you want to get to the Grand Canyon. What I would actually recommend, instead of the obvious, which would be to go back down to I-40 and then go to Flagstaff that way, I would actually recommend go through Kayenta, because then you can go through Monument Valley, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. So Monument Valley is basically a collection of really amazing rock formations. You've probably seen it in movies. A lot of westerns were filmed there. It's in Forrest Gump. It's just a really beautiful site in the world. And you can go there. You can sort of look without kind of going in. There's actually a restaurant you can eat at, and the view out the window from that restaurant is really beautiful. But you can also go in because it is a national park, so it's one of those places like the Grand Canyon where you do have to pay to get in if you want to get in. Like I said, you can still see a lot of the rock formations, but if you have some time to spend there, I would recommend taking a Jeep tour, because then you'll have a Navajo guide and they will have a Jeep, and you'll be able to really get down into the valleys. And it's just a really fun way to spend an afternoon if you want to spend any time there. It's also something you could just pass through and still, you'll be amazed at the beauty. Yeah, you want to go that way? I thought you might. Okay. So what you will do then, you will actually, instead of going back down south to catch I-40, you will continue north from Chinle. You will actually just barely go into Utah. So let me put that in. And then you'll go back down. You're really barely going into Utah. Now, there is a hotel in Monument Valley that's really cool because all of the rooms have a view of the monuments, although it's also really expensive. But if you did want to stay overnight, that would be probably a very unique option that you just won't get that kind of a chance ever again. If you didn't want to pay, luxury hotel prices, there are some hotels in Kayenta, Arizona, which is about 20 miles away, and you'll be passing through Kayenta. So that's an option. Or, like I said, it could just be a day trip. And you should be able to get from Monument Valley all the way to Flagstaff in, let's see, in about 3.5 hours. So, it just depends where you want to stop and stay the night. If you're already going to stay the night in Chinle, then you probably, unless you have a lot of time, you probably don't want to stay the night in Monument Valley. So that's up to you. So from Albuquerque to Chinle is 4 hours, and then it's about another 1.5 hours to get to Monument Valley, and then from Monument Valley to Flagstaff is another 3.5 hours. And then Flagstaff is not quite where the Grand Canyon is. You'll actually need to go to Williams, so that you'll have another hour maybe from Flagstaff. But Flagstaff is your best launching point. There's a lot of hotels and stuff there. So let's just go ahead and add the Grand Canyon in. And I think that we've got your route all planned out. Was there anything else that you wanted to see? No? Well, I think this route has quite a lot to see, actually. So I think you should enjoy it. And according to the computer, it should be less than 12 hours altogether from Albuquerque to the Grand Canyon. And then, of course, some people camp at the Grand Canyon. Personally, I like hotels, so I would stay in Flagstaff, but That's up to you. And then, so you'll want to just come back to Albuquerque after you see the Grand Canyon? Okay. So the good news is that should be a nice, easy trip, because that's basically just going on I-40. So let's see how long that should take you. And then that'll give you an idea of how you want to plan your stops. Let's see. Okay, so from the Grand Canyon to Albuquerque is about 6.5 hours. So that could be a good day's worth. Depends on when your flight is out. If you have an evening flight, that could work. Otherwise, if you do want to stop somewhere on I-40 overnight, Gallup is actually a really interesting town. There's a lot of really cheap motels there. Like, there's definitely a low rent district, but it's a really cool combination of Native Americans and Hispanic people, and there's just a lot of history in Gallup. It was, along the railroad and Route 66, so there was a lot of trade going through Gallup historically. Now it's a little bit more run down, but it's still just neat. Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Okay, well, I think I can print this route off for you. So let's go ahead and send that to the printer. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Okay. So I have to say, I'm so excited for you. So, let me go ahead and put these in a little folder for you. Okay, so here is your trip, and it's got a nice little folder, just in case you spill water on it or anything like that. You can always give us a call if at any time something happens and you get lost. Hopefully that won't happen. I mean, it's not complicated. You're not really driving in any big cities or anything like that. So, oh yeah, there's no traffic. And you won't be on deserted roads, but it'll be very nice. You'll be able to drive and, pass anybody that is going slow. There's plenty of room. It's very nice driving in the Southwest. The only time you might hit traffic is in Albuquerque itself, and then probably at the Grand Canyon. There's probably going to be quite a lot of tourist activity, unfortunately. But, everybody in America wants to go to the Grand Canyon, so you're doing the same thing. What can you do? Okay, well, I am so excited about your trip. I'm so jealous. I wish I could come with you, but I hope you have a fantastic trip. And again, don't hesitate to call us if anything happens, or we have a service where we can overnight you a new copy of your trip. I've got it saved on the computer, so hopefully nothing like that will happen. But, just be careful, because some areas don't have cellular service out there. So, Just make sure you have everything you need before you go, and you should be fine. And enjoy. I hope you have a fantastic time, and thank you so much for coming in. Alright, well, nice meeting you too. Have a great trip. Bye.